The Lunar Ring 2 isn't a generational leap in terms of smart ring tech, but it is the kind of upgrade that removes some of those daily annoyances. And if you're coming from the Gen 1, then there's one upgrade here that genuinely did make me go, finally. It's still subscription free, which makes things interesting. But the real story here is those small quality of life improvements, which takes this from being a nice gadget to an absolute daily driver. This review is primarily for two types of people. The first is people coming from the Gen 1, wondering whether this is actually a worthwhile upgrade for them. And two, it's for people who are just getting into the smart ring world and they're interested in having a ring that gives you a lot of really interesting data without having to barter with subscription fees. But here's my take on it. The Lunar Ring Gen 2 is a refinement ring. It's not a revolution, but there is better comfort, better battery, and an absolutely better charging system. There's also an app that is packed with data. Sometimes it can feel like a little bit too much data, but we'll get on to that. Design-wise, it's familiar. It basically looks exactly the same as the Gen 1. It's got that wedding band look that comes in 5 different colour variants. I've got the gold one here and I like how it looks. It is titanium but does scratch pretty easily, so don't expect this to look pristine for particularly long. The Gen 2 does trim down slightly. It is slightly slimmer in terms of its profile than the Gen 1, though in day-to-day use you probably won't notice that. One small thing that was carried over from the Gen 1, which is still really helpful and present here, is the little notch on the ring, which tells you exactly how you should be wearing it in order to get the best results from the sensors. You see, the 3 dimpled sensors need to be touching the bottom of your finger. In order to ensure that you've always got that, this notch should be pointing upwards. To the naked eye, you probably won't see it unless you're looking for it, but you can definitely feel it if you run your finger across it. And that means that it's really easy to adjust and ensure that you've got it in the correct place. Those sensor bumps don't really get in the way though, you don't really feel them at all. A lot of the time while I was wearing the Gen 2, I just forgot I was wearing it and didn't really feel it there. And I think that's where we really should be with smart wearables. The ring has 4 main sensors. You've got an optical heart rate sensor, blood oxygen, skin temperature, and a 3-axis accelerometer. It's clear that the ring is mainly designed for everyday life tracking, things like sleep and your heart rate rather than activities. It can definitely do that, and it can track up to about 40 different ones. Though, let's be honest, they never really appeared that accurately. That's kind of where the Lunar Band comes in. This is a brand new product from Lunar, which is coming out in a couple of months, which looks to solve all of those performance-based issues that we see with the ring form factor. So if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about the Lunar Band, then get subscribed down below and comment as well, and I'll be sure to do a review on it when it comes out. Let's talk about charging though, because the Gen 1 had my least favourite minigame. Rotate the ring, nudge it, pray, look at it. Is it actually charging? No. Take it off, rotate it, put it down. It became a 5 or 10 minute ritual to ensure that I had this ring correctly seated in its dock and to ensure that it actually charged. The Gen 2, however, fixes that problem with one thing, and that is its charging case. This is the Surge Charger, and it is absolutely beautiful. Seriously, this thing is a work of art. You've got super shiny plastics as well as some metal decals and accents which just make this thing look absolutely stunning. I'm almost a little bit afraid to put it in my bag or my pocket in case I scratch it off. It's that beautiful. It can recharge the ring about 3 or 4 times based upon the ring's size, and on a day-to-day basis I was getting about 6 days worth of energy out of the ring. And there's no more playing that silly charging minigame either. Basically, you line up the 3 notches of the ring with the notch in the charger, and that's it. There really is nothing to it. Just place it in, and you see the LED ring around the outside tell you how much battery you have left. It's so simple and so easy. I don't know why it didn't happen with the Gen 1, but I'm so glad it's here with the Gen 2. Let's be honest though, the hardware here really only is half the story. A lot of the appeal of the Lunar Ring is their software, which they're calling Life OS. It turns all of your biometric data into actual guidance, rather than a wall of graphs that it takes a few hours to properly digest and understand. The app is basically built around three main pillars: sleep, readiness, and activity. You do have the homepage and some Lunar AI stuff here as well, but the majority of your time will be spent within one of those three main categories. Now, straight away, yes, the app can feel really data rich, but sometimes that data can feel a little bit overwhelming. There's almost too much going on. Some icons feel a little too small, and text sometimes overflows our elements. It's really a small nitpick, but it can make a pretty big difference to the user experience. Jumping into the sleep tag, this is where Lunar does the majority of its work, and I think it's actually where it works its best. You get sleep stages, interpretations, and guidance on when's best for you to fall asleep and wake up to ensure that you're feeling your best for the day ahead. The ring seemed to capture almost every part of my night. Whether that was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to my son who was crying or something in between, it pretty much tracked all of those wake windows almost perfectly, giving me a really good idea of just how well I actually ended up sleeping. A pretty new feature in Life OS is the circadian rhythm tools. This is where things can get pretty overwhelming and complicated if you want them to, but they also don't have to if you just want to kind of look at this dataset. This is the kind of data that really turns the ring and the software from a spreadsheet into a life coach. It allows you to track basically anything you can think of: caffeine intake, when you ate, what you ate, even down to how much sunlight you were seeing that day and when you were seeing it. All of this kind of data plays a big role in how we're feeling and how we perform. And up until this point, it's been rare to find all of this kind of data in one place. Once you're in the app, it can be quick and easy to track this, but it can also feel a little bit cumbersome to have to remember to go into the app and track all of this data every time you have a coffee or every time you have something to eat. That is due to change with the launch of the band as well. We're getting full Siri and Gemini integrations, so you can basically just talk to Lunar and tell it, hey, I just had a coffee, or hey, I just had this particular meal. And finally, that third pillar is the readiness pillar. Readiness is basically the first thing that you're going to see every morning. It's going to dictate to you whether today is the day that you're going to push yourself in training or take a recovery day or take a back seat. It pulls your recovery, your sleep, your HRV, and other data, including things like if you drank last night, into account to give you a readiness score up to 100. Activity tracking is kind of where the Lunar Ring falls down. It's very good at tracking things like steps and walking and running, but anything outside of that, it really can't track very well. And that's nothing against the Lunar Ring. That's just smart rings in general. They are typically not very good at tracking your heart rate and other kinds of metrics when you're doing exercise, just because of where it's tracking it from. It's why the band is such a big innovation for Lunar. It can be used alongside the ring, and they work in tandem to give you the best amount of data possible. Lastly, let's talk about Lunar AI. Lunar AI is an interesting feature which allows you to essentially talk and chat to all of your data. It allows you to ask, hey, I'm not feeling particularly great today. Is there a reason for that? And it might be able to tell you that actually, yes, you had coffee quite late last night, so you didn't sleep particularly well. These kinds of insights are actually really interesting, and I liked having conversations with the Lunar AI to better understand the data that I was giving it. There were a few weird oddities, in particular when it was generating me a fitness plan. It just decided that every day was going to be a rest day. Though I do like the sound of that fitness plan, I'm not sure it will actually do much for me reaching my goals. So essentially then, if you're coming from the Lunar Ring Gen 1, there really is only one reason to upgrade, and that is the charging case. If you're fed up with flaky charging or want to be able to charge on the go without having to be near a plug socket, then the Lunar Ring 2 and its new case absolutely changes the game. And if you're new to smart rings, then I cannot recommend the Lunar Ring 2 enough. It is both the best looking smart ring I've ever used and one of the most accessible platforms, mainly because of that lack of subscription fee. So there we have it. That's the Lunar Ring Gen 2. It's not a generational leap, but there are enough upgrades here to make me feel like it was worth the price point. These guys sell for around £300, and I'll leave links in the description down below, which will give you a few discounts as well if you're wanting to pick up a Lunar Ring 2. Anyway guys, why don't you let me know what you think of the Ring 2 in the comment section down below. And of course, while you're down there, get subscribed as well, it genuinely does mean the world to me. Anyway, my name is Brim Robert, this has been Bite Size Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.